James Harrison was born in 1892. The Harrison family had a flourishing shipping line, but James's professional interest was more in medicine and he became a medical doctor. But over and above that, his passion was for bird research and for bird conservation. In 1930, James founded the Harrison Zoological Museum, and over the next 47 years, he assembled some 19,000 bird specimens of 884 species from 90 countries. In addition, he published 330 scientific papers. Fluent in German, James had an international outlook and worked extensively with colleagues from Europe, from Germany, from Switzerland, from Austria. And it's lovely to think that he was working with colleagues from the Vienna Museum and swapping museum specimens some 50 years back in time. James Harrison had two sons. His elder son Jeffery was a wildfowler and a pioneering conservationist. He was the driving force in the design and development of the Sevenoaks Wildfowl Reserve. With a shared interest in biodiversity conservation, he was a colleague, but also I think a friend of Prince Philip. Prince Philip, the husband of our late Queen. And Prince Philip, to show his support, was a visitor both to the reserve and to the Harrison Zoological Museum. His younger son David was a preeminent international mammalogist. He was also my boss, my colleague, and my friend. David undertook the first comprehensive survey for mammals in Arabia. For 90 years, the Harrison Institute has thrived here in Sevenoaks. But, of course, we live in a changing world. And in the face of the extinction crisis, habitat degradation, and climatic change, there has never been a greater need for biodiversity science, biodiversity conservation, and a new generation of biodiversity scientists. The Harrison Institute is committed to meeting these challenges, but of course, we cannot work alone. We have collaborated on bird research and capacity building with my good colleague, my good friend and colleague, Dr. Sven Renner, for the past 12 years.
Welcome to the backstage of the Vienna bird collection of the Natural History Museum. We are here and we have about 130,000 birds stored in this collection. This collection actually was founded by Natara, who collected the first time ever about 10,000 to 11,000 birds in Brazil. In total, we have about 8,000 bird species in this collection, which is actually one of the bigger collections worldwide, especially in Europe. The Harrison collection also would be a very nice addition to our geography of the Natural History Museum bird collection here, because it entails specimens from the near to far east, which is actually like addition of the focus we have in our collection. Here we do have two exemplaries of quetzals. The type is basically one individual, for example this one or that one, representing all individuals of the same species. The difference between those two species, this is a resplendent quetzal, you can see it with a nice plumage, and this parvin quetzal it doesn't have this long tail feathers, and in details, for example, the crest is with a resplendent quetzal, but not with the other one. Both males, and we can see we have morphological differences in the two species, and this is a typical distinction for most of the species we do have in the world. The typical process once we get a bird or entire bird collection is that we first of course get boxes with birds. We take out the birds out of the box and then we check a lot of things first. One thing is the species correct? The next thing is the locality correct? Can we add like degrees, coordinates? The most important thing is that we put the bird into the inventory, which is written down somewhere, and we add like an inventory number and a new level, like this one here, for example, which makes actually the official step that the bird is part of the new collection. Afterwards, the bird individual, the specimen, is taken actually as part of our collection and stored in the correct drawer for research forever.
We see the transfer of our bird collection to the Naturhistorische Museum Vienna as a way of reinforcing and expanding this partnership. Vienna is a perfect fit, a win-win for more groundbreaking ornithological research, better student mentorship, and of course, a greater public awareness of the environmental threats that face us all.